visit to Bethlehem, the birthplace of Jesus, which has revolutionized the history of humanity and brought salvation to the whole world. At the Beit Jala Hospital in Bethlehem, the first diagnosis and treatment center for breast cancer in Palestine was inaugurated. Over 300 Polish Catholic, Orthodox and Protestant pilgrims set out on their way to the Holy Land, united in their witness to Jesus Christ. The Syriac Orthodox Scout Group is among the most important in Palestine. Founded in 1958, it is present in religious and national celebrations. The guardian and rector of the Basilica of the Annunciation of Nazareth, Father Bruno Varriano, tells us about the likelihood of the engagement and marriage between Mary and Joseph according to the customs of the time. The experience of going to Bethlehem is fascinating. Yes, exactly the city mentioned in the Bible as the place of origin of King David, and even more importantly, the birthplace of the Prince of Peace. It is located 10 kilometers from Jerusalem. To enter it, it is necessary to cross a checkpoint because since 2002 a wall separates and distances the two cities. There are about 25,000 inhabitants. One of them is Dima, a girl who is proud to be a fellow citizen of baby Jesus.
Io vivo nella stessa terra dove è nato Gesù, Gesù bambino.
I live in the same land where Jesus, baby Jesus, was born, the one who became man to approach me as a sinner, to make me know him better. To me, this land is very holy. The fact that I am from Bethlehem and that the Lord has chosen to be born here means a lot in spiritual terms and for the history of the place. I thank God for this gift.
A livello spirituale e anche a livello della storia del posto. E quindi io ringrazio Dio per questo dono.
Tourists and craftsmen move the local economy, with a special mention for mother of pearl and olive wood objects.
Noi abbiamo questo negozio vicino alla mangiatoia.
Our shop, located near the manger, was opened in 1927 by my grandfather. Then my father took over, and then I did with my brother. We are therefore the third generation. Many families work, even at home, with wood and mother of pearl. Many artists make cribs, rosaries and other objects.
Lavoro per il presepe, per rosari, per le altre cose.
Christians represent only 40% of the local population. Catholics are 5,000. The other Christians are Greek Orthodox, Armenians, Syriac Orthodox, Copts and Lutherans. The majority of the population is Muslim, and even so, among the mosques, church towers prevail. And obviously, what stands out the most is the Basilica of the Nativity, which houses the grotto where Mary gave birth to the Savior of the world.
Dio sta per tutto il mondo, no? Ma qua
God is in the whole world, but here I would say that it is something mysterious. It leads us to reflect, to pray more, to be ourselves. Jesus who came here became man and a child like us, because we try to be like him, to imitate him always. So living in this land, going to pray in the Church of the Nativity, is a gift that nobody can buy with money. It is the greatest gift that Jesus has given me.
nessuno lo può comprare con I soldi, no? Sì,
Here it's Christmas every day, but it is obvious that at this time of year Bethlehem is decorated differently. The shop windows display beautiful items that remind us of the holiday we will celebrate in a few days.
La più bella cosa per Natale, noi abbiamo il bambino Gesù e il presepe. Abbiamo il bambino Gesù che noi facciamo qua.
We feel that in Bethlehem it's really Christmas every day. The most beautiful aspect of Christmas are baby Jesus and the nativity scene. The baby Jesus we make here in Bethlehem, the ceramic one, and also the olive wood crib, of which we have many variations depending on the artist who makes it. Modern, stylized, not stylized, it depends on the inspiration of the artist.
Moderna, stilizzato, non stilizzato. E questo dipende dall'artista che fa questo lavoro.
The truth and the beauty are remarkable. They are tangible representations of what happened here and is celebrated all over the world.
Io auguro a tutti pace e serenità dalla terra.
I wish everyone peace and joy from the Holy Land, and I invite everyone to get to know baby Jesus. Not only the one that comes from Bethlehem, of course here it is special and I invite you all to come here, but because Jesus also comes to your home in Brazil and all over the world.
Ma anche Gesù viene nella tua casa in Brasile, nella sua casa a Gerusalemme.
In the Beit Jala Hospital in Bethlehem, near the place where the baby Jesus was born, the first breast cancer diagnosis and treatment center, breast unit, in Palestine was inaugurated. Since the opening of the center, we have received more than 300 patients, and we have been able to diagnose 26 cases of cancer. The main objective of the initiative is to save lives. In view of the fact that, according to the International Agency for Research on Cancer, breast cancer is the #1 cause of mortality rates among women worldwide. The inauguration was attended by the authorities that contributed to the development of this project: the Italian Agency for Development Cooperation, the Ellis Center, and the campus of biomedicine of the University of Rome. The participation of the Consul General of Italy, Fabio Sokolovic, and of the Palestinian Minister of Health, Dr. Jawad Alwad, was very important. The health situation is no less important than that of security. I am of the opinion that in the next 3 or 4 years, it will no longer be necessary to transfer each and every case out of Palestine. In fact, according to the project leaders, within a year from now, 40% of Palestine breast cancer cases can be treated in the West Bank.
We are really proud of the inauguration that took place today in the presence of all the authorities, including the Minister of Health and the Italian Consul. But I believe that the real inauguration will take place every day, thanks to the women who will benefit from this service.
The Beit Jala Hospital Department has now ultrasound imaging, 3D mammography, and computer systems.
Here in Palestine, really, we live in very hard circumstances, and it was in the past difficult for women who was diagnosed to have not cancer, mass, to follow up her issue, because most of the women are poor. They don't have money to go to private to do ultrasound or biopsy. Now by this unit, it can have women from all the West Bank. They are contact with me to give appointments in order not to let the woman come and back only for one time. She comes, she will have all the service she needs.
Ucieszyłem się, gdy mi powiedziano, pójdziemy do domu Pana. Już stoją nasze...
United in witnessing Jesus Christ, 308 Polish pilgrims of different Christian denominations from the town of Łódź set out on their journey to the Holy Land, where everything speaks and tells the story of the covenant between God and humanity.
When I came to Łódź, this is a great archdiocese in Poland, but I discovered that this is also a very important ecumenical place because of the tradition. Even today, we still feel deeply rooted in that heritage, and just 2 or 3 months after my coming into Łódź, I met all the bishops from different churches, and we started to talk, to discuss the matter, how to do it, not if we want to do it, but how to do it. And so it finishes now, and 300 of us from 7 different churches.
Il pellegrinaggio interessante è sempre molto importante per un cristiano, perché qui veniamo per le fonti, qui.
The pilgrimage to the Holy Land is always very important for a Christian. Here we come to the sources where we reinforce our faith. This ecumenical pilgrimage was thought several years ago. The Archbishop had a great desire to come here together, to live, to pray and to sing together, to be able to know each other better. In my opinion, referring to the words of the Archbishop, We do not create unity here, but we remove hostility.
Creiamo qui l'unità, ma togliamo l'amicizia.
The announcement that occurred more than 2,000 years ago here still resonates every day for each of us.
We are in the very big group with the different churches from Poland.
It is a large group with members of different churches, Catholic, Protestants and Orthodox. Altogether, all our Protestant Orthodox groups and ourselves have visited the Holy Sepulchre, the Galilee, and where the pastors camp, and also the Basilica of the Nativity. We have prayed together. Every day we have an ecumenical meeting. We read the Bible together. And this is a small movement, but a big step for the future of ecumenism.
Every day we have the ecumenical meeting, we read the Bible, and I think so this is the small movement for the great step for the ecumenical future.
Pilgrims who will become witnesses through life and through the Word. What we have heard, what we have seen with our eyes, what we have contemplated and that our hands have touched, we announce it to you.
Well, maybe the importance of the pilgrimage is always the same today and yesterday and hundreds and hundreds of years ago, because first of all, it comes from the personal experience of faith. The faith is not a theory, not a social activity, not just a knowledge, not a science, not a political activity. Faith is a personal encounter with Christ. And the pilgrimage, and especially the pilgrimage to Holy Land, makes everything possible to make that encounter true.
Niech miłość zagości w nas.
Palestinian Scouting has a long history and is still to this day a present and vital movement that is constantly growing and forming new citizens. In Bethlehem, the Syriac Orthodox Scout Group is one of the oldest. Founded in 1958, it has the peculiarity, like all local scouting, for which music is an important activity. We are engaged in summer camps as well as social and sporting activities in Palestine. We were also the first group to introduce bagpipes as musical instruments. In the beginning, there were only 3 or 4. In fact, the instrument has a long history in the Middle East. The bagpipe was introduced and made popular in Palestine under the British Mandate by the Scottish soldiers stationed in the region. In Palestine, each group forms a small fanfare that animates religious and local events. As a group, our activities increase at this time of year in preparation for Christmas because we participate in the official entrances of the patriarchs into the Church of the Nativity. Today, this squadron has more than 150 members belonging to all age groups. Among the most active in the region, it was also chosen in 1995 to welcome the various visiting delegations received by the Palestinian Authority. The headquarters is located in the Hosh al-Syrian district, inside an ancient building dating back to the beginning of the last century. Here, men and women receive their formation following the end of scouting, educating young people by the promise, the law and the principles. A group that shows not only respect for its traditions, but that feels proud of its successes, up to our present day. An intense period of preparation and anticipation for the bagpipes to resound along the streets of the city of the Saviour on Christmas Eve. An unexpected announcement that changed young Mary's plans. She was already engaged to Joseph when she received from the angel the news that she was going to be the Saviour's mother. But between the announcement and the birth of Jesus, there is a crucial moment in Joseph and Mary's lives: the wedding celebration. In front of the city of Nazareth's ruins, we can imagine the family preparations for the wedding by the customs of their time. The keeper and rector of the Basilica of the Annunciation, Father Bruno Varriano, described in his book Mary, Mother of Humility, how this time of expectation for the life of the couple might have been based on Jewish tradition.
Nós sabemos que, segundo a tradição judaica, durava ano.
We know that, according to Jewish tradition, the engagement would last 1 year. The betrothed could not have any contact with the bride-to-be. He could only see her from afar. They could not meet. There was also the struggle of Mary's pregnancy. How to explain that after 3 months on her return from St. Elizabeth's house in Ain Karen, she was pregnant.
Aquela volta de encarno da casa de Santa Isabel, explicar esta gravidez.
Those were moments that tested Joseph. But after the announcement in a dream, the angel asked him not to be afraid and to accept Mary as his bride. Within the project of salvation, Joseph gives up his youth, living in chastity, and contributes to God's project for humankind. At that point, it was time to prepare the house and the celebration.
No mês de Adar, é o mês dos matrimônios, se diz provérbio, não? Quando se chega.
The month of Adar was the month of wedding. A proverb said, "When Adar comes, Israel fills with joy." So we can imagine the joy of the small village of Nazareth the day of the wedding, when Mary in all her beauty, wearing the veil, welcomed her groom Joseph, and they came to live together in this house where we are now, here in the house of the Holy Family. The entire local community would participate to the Jewish ceremony, rich in symbolism and rituals, to be engraved in everyone's memory.
Todos vinham com os vestidos melhores, entravam na sala e diziam elogios.
Everybody wore their best clothes and they entered the room praising the bride for her beauty. They would quote the Old Testament. The town elders covered their heads with white veils as a symbol of superiority, a sign that the elders were respected and listened to. The day of the wedding, children received sweets with honey and nuts because that was a day that everyone needed to remember. The groom would offer a present to the bride, a very significant present, and everyone would want to know what it was, how much it was, and how much did the groom love the bride.
Presente para noivo, presente significativo, e todos queriam saber quanto era esse presente, qual é o valor, quanto é o amor que ele tem.
Joseph and Mary's wedding had the objective of the project of salvation. In the words of Saint Bonaventure, God wanted to enter humanity through common means, a father and a mother. After the unforgettable celebration, the bride and groom went home. In the Basilica's complex there is St. Joseph's Church, built between 1911 and 1914, where the Holy Family's house used to be. Further down there is the crypt, most probably Jesus' putative father's workshop, and on an even lower level there are the ruins of a sort of kitchen or pantry, an environment shrouded in divine love expressed through human love.